Okay, welcome friends. In the lecture number 42, we were discussing on the drainage system on the pipe drain. So, mostly the pipe size and so the drain pipe we were discussing. Now, in this lecture, we will be talking about the structures. Okay, so what kind of structures really we will be using in drainage. So, we are going to discuss those. So, okay, so the structures in pipe drainage, we see this, the first thing is the outlet of the pipe drain into the ditch or canal. So, if you see here, so this is the outlet. So, the basic purpose is to prevent erosion of the side slopes and preferably not interfere with the ditch maintenance. Okay, so this is the ditch. So, it should not interfere with the ditch maintenance and it prevents entry of animals into the drain. So, these are the main functions before constructing the outlet of the pipe. So, clearly if you can see the outlet here. So, these are the collector drains, right. These are the collector drains and then you have an outlet. Okay. So, this is the singular outlet because the collector is the collector is directly opening into the open ditch. Okay. So, if it is a composite, so that means the open ditch all the field drains are all the field drains or collectors field drains are connected to a common collector. Okay. So, then from there, so this will be connected to the outlet. So, that is a composite. So, the second is the junction boxes. So, junctions and inspections, okay, inspection chambers. So, these are used in composite drain pipes because if you see in the composite, so all the the field channels or field tiles are connected to a collector, right, with different joints. So, may have junction boxes with a previous provision to trap, silt, repair, interceptor or maintenance. Okay. So, here, so these are the junction box. Suppose, so this is the field drain and it going here and then you have collector. So, this kind of joints be used in a herringbone kind of structures, and then you have the parallel system. Okay. This is called a T, and you have this is called a junction box, right. This is a junction box. So, the junction box, if you see here the closely, so this is above the land surface and this is below the land surface, okay, soil surface. So, the advantage of junction box installed below the land surface is it does not interfere with the farming operations. Okay. And here if you see, so about 0.3 meter is left below the collector. So, this portion will be used to collect the sediments. So, like this is called a sediment trap. So, whatever the sediments which is present inside the drainage water, that will be settled here. So, then the clean water will leave the junction box. Okay. So, then buried chambers do not interfere with the farming operations, just like here, and most connections are made using blind junctions which cannot be inspected after installation. So, here, so mostly the blind junctions are difficult because once they installed, that will be buried inside, and it is difficult during the maintenance and it is difficult for inspection purposes. Okay. And then sometimes if you see the junction boxes so big, like if you see here, these are the junction boxes clearly you can use the most of the urban drainages, like the big junction boxes can be used to dispose the water, I mean wastewater here. So, structures in the pipe drainage system. So, the surface water inlets. So, outlets and surface water inlets. So, this is mainly to facilitate to easy infiltrate water, so drain water into the tail or pipe. Okay. So, the tail pipe. So, used for incidental discharge of surface water. So, this basically the pit. Okay. So, this is the pit, and which has a stone or gravel, the rectangular pit which consists of a stone or gravel pieces, because that will help in infiltrating the water into the tail, or CPT is the corrugated pipe tail drainage. Okay. So, here the blind inlets remove both surface and subsurface water and are suitable where there are relatively small amounts of impounded water. So, this is very important when there is a water is impounded, the small amount. So, one is to remove excess water from the root zone as well as from the surface. So, both it will do both purposes. So, here the other example, sometimes this will be half the ground. So, that is a surface water inlet offset from the subsurface drain line to reduce potential damage to the line. Okay. So, here so this will be a little bit away from the main drainage system, and then there is a gravel, okay, and this is underground outlet. So, this is a minimum 5 feet of non perforated tubing of conduit. Okay. This one is non perforated tubing or conduit. So, the water which is stored here or impounded here, that will be passed through the pores and enters through this here, and then this will be removed. This will be removed through the drain pipe. Okay. So, here also the advantage here is, so the water which is ponded on top surface can easily escape through the so if you have a depression here, right, if you have depression here, so water can easily pass through this. So, ponded water can easily pass through the perforations, and then the extra water also will enter through this, okay, and finally through the drain pipe. So, this is surface water inlets, and then the other one is known as the bedding. Okay. So, the bedding. So, the gravel bed is most suitable for corrugated pipe lateral. So, if you see this, so this is perforated pipe, right, you see the holes here, and then water floods the trench, then enters the pipe and flow away. So, what happened, this is a gravel. So, right. So, water which is entered through this to the gravel, and then gravel escape pipe. So, this is gravel escape pipe. This is kind of which protects the perforated pipe from the gravel pressure. Okay. So, then there is a French drain we called where this is the main drain, and then the gravel or coarse aggregates. This is the lawn area and earth. So, this is another the bedding kind of things. So, once you install the pipe drainage, so you will be you will be constructing the envelopes. This is also called envelope, right. So, envelope has a few material properties, like it acts as a filter media, and also it protects the products from compaction of the pipe for if any physical or mechanical stress acting on the top. Okay. Okay, so then there is a ditch system. So, the ditch systems generally what happens is open ditches. So, if you see in this picture, so this is the water table, right, and this is the initial groundwater table, and if you want to remove water below the root zone here, right, the open ditch system. So, these are the two ditches that will take away the water or drains the water from the root zone. So, the ditch system consists of is laid out in various patterns. So, drains laid deep enough for effectively pond water drainage, that is 1 to 1.5 meter below. So, the ditch will be constructed 1 to 1.5 meter below the ground, and mostly the trapezoidal shape will be used in case of grassed watershed. So, like this is the trapezoidal, if you see clearly, right. So, the trapezoidal shapes are generally used for ditch systems, okay, in order to get more stability. So, then the next is construction of pipe drainage. So, construction has two activities here. The first is setting out of alignments and levels. So, because the pipe drainage requires very well grade or slope, so that the water which is drained from the surface or root zone will be well drained to the collector drain. Okay. So, then installation of the drain pipe in the soil. The first one is make the soil level, then install the pipes. So, how to this alignment is very important, the setting out. So, that is called alignment. So, here if you see in this picture clearly, right. So, there will be two ranging rods, this is called ranging rods. This is I mean the rods that will be used in surveying. So, the first initially, so these two ranging rods are installed in the ground, okay, and then so there is a sight line, there is a sight line. So, for example, here a person is watching, this is a based on the particular the particular slope, the particular slope. So, these 2 points are fixed, and then this is the traveler, one guy will be holding this rod, right, and from here to here, from A to B. So, he will be walking through and setting up here. Okay. So, for example, so this is the mark, right, this is, these two are the marks. Okay. So, at this point, for example, here, so this is the valley, okay, this is the valley. So, we need to add soil, right, we need to add soil to bring this ranging this traveler rod to the sight line, okay, to the sight line. So, like that there will be cut fill method. By using that, you will be knowing where to be cut and where to fill the soil, so that the required or desired slope is maintained. Okay. So, once this the sight lines should be parallel with the pipe drain line. Okay. So, the heavy rods may be used to check the level. So, these are the travelling rods, and all other rods are used to check the I mean the grade. So, the next is installation. So, the construction. So, once the land is leveled and then the pipe drain system is demarcated. So, then you have to use the machinery to construct or excavate the trenches to install the pipe drains. Okay. So, here for example, the back actor. So, the back actor, it is kind of heavy bulldozer, if you see here. So, this portion, so this will be used to excavate the soil for the from the for and to achieve the desired depth. Okay. And so, the mostly these back actor will have 40 to 65 HP and 4 meter deep it can excavate, and 0.42 to 0.6 meter width of trenches it can make. Okay. So, the next is the continuous Crowler trench. Okay. So, this is up to 200 HP and it can make 3 to 3.5 meter deep trenches and 0.2 to 0.45 meter width of trench. Okay. So, if you see here, so the continuous Crowler trench will have this kind of the crawlers, okay, the crawlers. So, then so this is the corrugated drain pipe. Okay. So, look at this, the corrugated drain pipe is wounded or to a vertical shaft, and then from there this is all the way conveyed to the trench, okay, and then it gets installed. So, then major things are here. This is the blade, okay. So, this is the blade. The moment it goes further, right. So, the trench has a cutting tool that is going to cut, and the same time the pieces which are coming from the cutting are going to convey to the conveying belt and removed or thrown outside, right, through this, and it is thrown outside. And then, so this will be every time, so this portion will be freed and cutting will be taking place. So, once that is done and there is a gravel hopper, right. So, then so the next is the reel, I mean the corrugated pipe will be installed, and simultaneously the gravel hopper pours the gravel, okay, and similarly this envelope will be made. So, this is a kind of simultaneous operation, both cutting, installation of the drain pipe, and then filling the drain hole with the envelope material. So, all three operations will be taken place using the crawler trench here. And then so the next is trenchless crawler. So, this is also very popular because in trenchless crawler it does not make any trench, okay. So, and it has 135 to 200 HP and 1.6 to 2 meter deep, okay. This is the deep, and then here if you see, so this is the cutting tool, okay. So, this is the cutting tool, you do not see any trench here, this is all underground, okay. So, there is no trench is seen. So, the pipe, so this is a corrugated pipe, so this will be gone inside, right. Once this tool makes opening, so immediately simultaneously or this trench will be installed inside, sorry, the drain pipe will be installed without opening any trench, okay. So, this is the advantage of this trenchless crawler. Okay, so the next is trench installation, which involves excavation of the trenches. The first one is excavation, opening the soil, and the laying of the pipe with or without envelope. So, laying of the pipe with envelope if the trench is open, without envelope if it is a trenchless, okay. So, mostly the without envelope is in case of molds, right, mold drains. So, you do not require to add any envelope, because the clay soil which is surrounding the pipe can act as the envelopes. So, the backfilling of the trenches, then after the once it is opened, installed, then the backfilling, then excavation, installation and the envelope can be done intense by machines that we have seen in the previous pictures, and manual operations are needed when there is a level lands and unavailable of machines. So, if you do not have machines available and the land is flat, so you can use by hand tools, you can make trenches and install the drain pipe. So, the trenchless drains, the critical depth principle, if you use that, what happens here? So, you have seen on the previous slide how the trenchless crawler, right. So, that works. This is a plow bottom, it contains a cutting tool or the plow, right, and then so this is the what you call the corrugated pipe. So, that will go all the way through the slot which is present inside the plow, I mean the cutting tool, Okay, so that will be laid out, and this is the moving direction. So the tool will move this direction, and the I mean the corrugated pipe laid in this direction. Okay, this is the blade width, and this is the cutting tool. Okay, so this way I already explained this figure, the cutting mechanism previously. So mostly the installation timing should be during dry season, when the soil supports heavy load, because we will be using heavier equipments, we are using heavier equipments, the soil should be I mean favorable for trafficability and also workability. Okay. So, the next is construction of pipe drains. So, and then backfilling, this is very important. So, once you open the drain and install the pipe, the backfilling needs to be done. So, this is mainly done by filling topsoil first by hand or a blade. So, first is the topsoil, then the combination of trench backfilling and consolidation. So, then after that backfilling, consolidation, backfilling, consolidation under humid and irrigated soils. So, each layer is sprinkled with water with tamping. So, if the soil is too much dry, so I mean backfill, compact and add little bit of water, and then add the soil and compact it. So, any remaining fill should be finally be formed into a low bound to prevent water ponds. Suppose, so this is the trench, right, and you fill the soil, you fill the soil, you fill the soil, and since this much this much soil is still left in the ground, so that can be that can be put as wound on top of the ground, okay, on top of the ground. So, what happen in the future? So, this will help in adjusting the soil because it will be compacted anyway in future. So, this will go down again. So, the maintenance, the pipe drains need to be cleaned regularly when there is a danger of deposition of fines or iron compounds, or the flow is restricted by any other reason. So, you will be kind of a watchdog, always looking at the flow, drain outflow, and see whether the flow is really taking place or not. If the flow is not taking place and there is a problem inside the drainage system, so then that needs to be maintained or cleaned out, any dirt material or anything. So, the deposits of finer iron compounds be removed from the pipe by flushing. So, flushing is the method. By using that, we will be removing the finer particles and iron deposition. So, in composite system, special access points may be provided. So, composite system, it is difficult to because it is underneath the ground, and also a lot of joints, it is difficult to go through each and every joint to see what is going inside the pipe drain system. So, that is why there are special access points are provided in case of compound systems. So, the next is this is the system used for cleaning the drain pipes. So, for example, here if you see, so there is a flushing truck. So, that will have a pipe, right. So, which has the water flow to the flush out, it contains the jet jetting nozzle at the front, and the jetting nozzle goes into the drain pipe. This is you can say this is kind of a access point, special access point. So, through this the jet tool will be introduced inside the drain pipe, and then with the high velocity jet, the flush or the particles which are deposited inside the pipe will be flushed out into the drain pipe. Okay, so, this is the cleaning of drain which is taking place. So, some of the useful videos are available in YouTube. You can go through these videos, so and this will help you how the installation of drain pipe in case of back actor and then trenchless crowler. Okay. Okay, so all those things are available. You can also watch some other videos that's available in YouTube. So this will give an idea how the drainage pipe or the tail drain or corrugated pipe is being installed underground, and how that is being connected to the ditch system. Okay. So this is all about this lecture, and thank you so much. And so we will move on to the next lecture in which we will be talking about the hydraulic principles in drainage system. Yeah, thank you so much.